There we go. Hello, hello, hello. I'm Johnny Jungle Guts, the top-notch gamer, aka the top-notch gamer, aka the young George Takei, the young George. In the studio today with me, I have Michal Kamran. Thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Hello, it's nice to be here.
What have you got going on this weekend? You're going up to the Bay?
I'm going up to the Bay. I'm hanging out there for a week. It is the first vacation I've had in like a year. Something like that.
Now, what brought on the vacation? What made that possible?
I found out I had vacation hours.
Oh, where do you work?
I work at a stationery store.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where's that?
In Larchmont Village.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, where else would there be a stationery store?
Yeah.
Maybe Little Tokyo. I could see one there. I think there's some there.
Yeah, I've been meaning to. It's all like nearing the west side. I know there's a couple of them that I keep meaning to go to, but I don't want to go to Westwood. At least I keep forgetting to.
Westwood?
Yeah, there's like Flax is in Westwood.
Oh, what? That's a very famous. That's like the.
Yeah, it's more famous. They got more pens.
That's the creme de la creme of stationery stores.
I think they have like real fancy papers. We have some nice ones. They have, I think, like, more loose ones or like handmade things.
And how long have you been working at the stationery store?
A little more than a year.
A little more than a year. And how do you like it over there?
I like it. Yeah, it's fun. I know stuff about wedding invitations now.
Oh, great. Are you getting married soon?
No.
Not yet?
No. I could marry myself. I've already picked out the wedding invitations for that.
Oh, great.
They're like handmade sparkly-ish paper.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Now, here's my question for you. Do you get a lot of scrapbook junkies coming in? Scrapbook freaks? Nerds?
We have every once in a while somebody scrapbooking, and we don't have stickers anymore, so I have to turn them away.
That's harsh.
It is rough.
I think scrapbooking is more popular in the American South, where outlets for creativity are stifled by religion.
That's probably true. The Hobby Lobby crowd has to let it out somehow.
They've got to let it out,
Yeah.
They it's hard when you want to be homophobic and racist, but you
really love glitter
you
pens.
really love to be creative too,
Yeah.
Homophobic, racist people deserve to be creative too. Just don't share it with me. Now, you're a creative person. Where do you identify yourself on the sort of creative spectrum?
Lapsed painter.
Lapsed painter.
Uh-huh.
So did you go do a little art school?
Oh, yeah. I dropped out of art school, and then I went to a state college and majored in art.
Okay. What made you switch? Just money stuff?
It was a lot. It was one of those, you know how there are certain art schools that are just kind of like you show up and then you drop out? They're like, they're detours, sort of.
Yeah.
It was one of those ones.
All right, there you go. Could you do me a huge favor and read me starting here?
Okay. So go back left a bit and down. The warp panel here takes let me see. The warp panel here takes you to a save point.
Okay, I think I did that.
Head back and go up to the warp panel above you.
Okay.
When you descend the stairs, you can return to the airship if you wish. If you choose not to continue left, head up and speak to the Guardian.
All right, that's the next thing we're going to do. So wait, it was a lot of things. What were the things?
A lot of things.
That made you go switch from full-blown art school to just regular school with a little art?
I wanted to major in philosophy.
Okay.
And I went to a school in Portland. And what I really actually wanted to do is I wanted to go to Reed in Portland.
Okay.
Never mind that I couldn't afford Reed, and they didn't accept me into Reed.
All right.
But I did get accepted into the art school there. It was PNCA. So I went to PNCA.
I'm so confused. You didn't get in, but you did get in?
I got into another school in Portland. I got into
Oh,
art
I
school
see,
in
okay.
Portland. I wanted to go to a liberal arts school in Portland.
I see.
And Reed is a weird one. It's like big and fancy, and everyone does heroin.
Yeah, sounds great. I mean, I similarly didn't get into the school I wanted to and ended up at art school as well, but I just stayed and finished and did the whole thing. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So then after you get your art degree, what happens next? Stationery store? Is it straight to the stationery store?
I worked at a record store for a year.
Wow, that seems like one of the most coveted jobs in the whole world.
It is, and then it's horrifying once you get there because you can't afford anything. It was Rasputin.
Okay.
And it was...
Where's that?
In, the one that I worked in was in San Francisco.
Okay.
It's a chain of Bay Area record stores. And the Rasputin in San Francisco is 5 stories tall in Union Square. The top 3 floors were only reachable by elevator.
Okay. That sounds kind of cool.
It's kind of cool. You, if you haven't worked there for more than like 3 years, they throw you in the elevator for about 6 hours a day, once a week. So you get an elevator shift.
What do you do in the elevator? Just take people places in the elevator?
Yeah, you hit buttons, you slap the hands of tourists, you have them stare at you and take photos.
Because it's a touristy spot too. It's
It's really a touristy spot, yeah.
famous spot. Yeah. Do you think Amoeba Records is a touristy spot as well?
Not as much, but people definitely know it.
Yeah.
So they have parallels.
Yeah.
In Berkeley, the Rasputin and the Amoeba are right near each other, and there's like a rivalry between them. It has a long history going back.
Yeah. That just for business rivalry? Just a business rivalry?
Well, the rumor has it that Amoeba was started by disgruntled Rasputin employees.
Wow. Okay.
And I think most Rasputin employees are disgruntled, so...
Okay.
Some just made it there.
There you go. You were disgruntled. How long did you work there for?
I worked there for a year.
Okay. And now you're at the stationery store for
Yeah.
a year. How long do you plan on riding that out?
I don't know. We will see.
Because it sounds kind of fun. It almost sounds like I would enjoy it. It sounds, I don't know why, I feel like it sounds like being a librarian. It kind of reminds me of that type of job.
Yeah.
You just get to learn about things that, are barely useful in today's world, but are still kind of fun.
Like writing letters?
Yeah, like writing letters, just books in general, paper products in general.
I like I go there and I touch every piece of paper because, I believe in something tactile or something.
Yeah, no, I hear ya.
Or I just like, putting my hands all over everybody's fancy wedding stationery.
There you go.
And that is a joke. Do not come after me, people who buy really expensive letterpress stuff.
Is that the store's like major moneymaker, would you say? Wedding invitations?
Yeah, it's one of our big things. It's, a lot of invitations, and then like stationery with people's names on it. And sometimes you can get it engraved or letterpress.
Okay.
We don't have a letterpress in the back. I would like to have one, but it's not big enough for that. And
Sure.
Also, yeah.
I hear that. So, where do you live now? Do you live at the Gal Palace?
No. I moved back to the Valley.
Oh, okay.
I was living in El Sereno for a while.
Wow. Okay, I'm about to die. El Sereno, where in El Sereno? I lived in El Sereno for about 2 years.
Oh, I lived on Chadwick.
I just lived on top of a tall hill. That's where I lived.
I was at the bottom of the hill, sort of.
Okay, you can't run.
Yeah. I was where it was sort of a semi-K-Chung house.
Who was involved with that? Okay, great.
Lily.
Just died. Oh, yes, of course.
So where Lily lived, and I was Lily's. I was Lily's housemate for a month.
All right, let me just put my phone on airplane mode here. I got the board game night group text going crazy on me.
Ooh.
Never ends. The jokes never end. So, K-Chung, let's talk about that.
Oh yes, let's talk.
Let's get into that. How long have you been over at K-Chung, and what is K-Chung for all of our listening audience out on the internet?
K-Chung is a magical radio station with a disgusting bathroom.
Yeah.
That people show up to and then start broadcasting into the ether.
Yeah.
When their show shows up. For me, it's it's like talk therapy for me. But it's mostly like play music therapy.
That's what you're doing, playing music or talking?
I play music and then like I rant about my life.
Great. I've done a lot of that on K-Chung.
Yeah. Oh, I think, yeah.
Do you do it because you know people are listening and because you know that no one is listening?
It's because I know nobody's listening, and then when somebody actually listens, I get really embarrassed.
Yeah. But do you get a little uplifted as well? Like, somebody listened.
I do like the ego, yeah.
Yeah. I certainly do. It's something about thinking no one is listening and then finding, because let's be honest, it's not exactly easy to find specific things, old things that were broadcasted on K-Chung.
Yeah.
It's getting easier, I think, with the archive, the way the archive is becoming set up, but it used to be just completely impossible. Like, someone would really have to dig.
Yeah, just a jumble.
To find some specific content. You don't have to dig to find any content, but... So what kind of music do you usually play on K-Chung?
I think I'm, right now, I've been known as the twee DJ or something.
Sure, yeah.
We're one of like 5 of them. I don't really talk to the rest of them.
Oh, yeah, well.
Yeah.
It's like,
you know,
multiple bachelorette parties at one strip club. You just hate everyone. You know, you can't. Everyone else is horrible. They're all just terrible people.
Yeah.
You're the star.
Yeah, no, my tiara is probably the best. Has the best feathers on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, primarily music where I think, like, most people who hear it ask, why can't that person sing?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of twee, a little bit of anti-folk, a little bit of maybe some pop-punk every once in a while.
Okay.
Or whatever.
I mean, I feel like we're in a phase in music right now where bad singing is really out. People really like big singers, you know, big event singers, really talented people. And it used to be everyone just wanted everyone to sound horrible in like 2005, 2006. That's my memory of it.
Oh, everything is so shiny now.
Yeah, very true. So, but did you ever live at the Gal Palace? You just did programming there, or why?
I just hang out there.
You just hang out there, and
yeah.
Tell the internet what the Gal Palace is.
The Gal Palace is a magical land full of like very, very awesome woman-identified people, I believe, who put on a lot of programming. A lot of it is shows, music. And a lot of storytelling parties they have.
Yes.
Once a month, an amazing storytelling party. They do some open mics every once in a while. They do some, a lot of different programming. My favorite is the karaoke parties.
Yeah, those sound really fun. Now, you were I did one open mic at the Gal Palace. Were you there? You were there.
I was there.
You were there. Let's talk about that, because that was fascinating to me.
It was interesting.
Because, okay, so it was my first time ever even considering doing stand-up comedy. And I thought it was a good venue to do it in, because, you know, I knew you guys, and seemed like it's definitely one of those places that's like a safe space,
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to go over there and do stand-up comedy, but I'm also like, okay, this is like a feminist space. I really want to, you know, be on my game here and not say anything anti-women, or just anti-anything, because, I feel like it's in probably an intersectional feminist space in many ways. And then I get over there, and all these, literally everyone, because it's just an open mic, it's just open to anyone. Literally, nearly everyone there is a guy. I think there was
bros?
2 female stand-up comedians, and all of it was like really. I don't know. Maybe you could describe what it was.
I remember one guy in particular. He was doing some stand-up about how hard it was because he was like a straight white guy, and he was a dom.
That's right. I forgot that part of it.
It was the dom.
Yes.
And I was just, I understood the comedy, but it was kind of in the air.
Right, it was just a bizarre setting for all these guys to be talking about being sexually dominant or like just different, like there's a lot of sexual things involving their women, and I learned something though very, I think, valuable at that, which was that even though I think politically first of all, most of the stand-up that was happening at it did not go over well. It wasn't a huge laugh fest. Let's just say that. There was definitely some good things going on. My friend Margie read a poem, I remember.
I remember that too. Yeah.
But before you do that, could you read me this description?
Okay. Start with by far.
Sure.
By far the hardest boss you've faced so far, no competition, not even close, but that doesn't mean he's unbeatable. Far from it, you just need to know what to do. First of all, check your party's equipment. Anyone who has the ability to equip Gaia should, and anyone who can't should equip the Cherub Down Relic. You won't have much defense against most of Atma's attacks, but at least with a Quake spell, people floating won't take damage, and people with Gaia gear equipped will actually be healed by it.
Gaia gear, that's good.
Alright,
keep going. Let me hear it all.
Okay, depending on your level, there may be some attacks Atma has that you can't even survive at full health. His full power attack does over 1,000 damage to a single character.
That's horrible news.
So you'll definitely need Phoenix Downs of the life spell. Have Shadow throw some extra weapons if you can.
Okay, great. Alright. Let's just see here. What else could we do to beef these guys up? So but there were definitely laughs to be had at the comedy show.
Yes.
And I learned that even if you don't line up with someone politically, so much of comedy is about timing. Because even though the joke, you might not agree with it at all.
Yeah.
The way it was done and timed, you might still laugh just because that's sort of the trick of comedy in a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then you're laughing at like really horrible things like babies being murdered.
Yeah. and I thought there was like, that was an interesting lesson for me if I were to want to do any more stand-up comedy, just in that, I feel like I would it's so much about timing, you know?
Yeah.
Which I thought that was interesting, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, so that was my experience, but most of the stuff over there is very feminist-centric. I don't really even know how that happened, that all those guys showed up. I think it was like one guy in the comedy scene, like, invited all of his friends. I think seemed like could have been what occurred.
Yeah, sometimes comedy guys, they're just they show up and they're a little bit like aphids.
What do you mean?
Just like, they know where there's a microphone, so they go ahead and they chomp on the microphone.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's good. That's
a
good metaphor. That's interesting. It's definitely. I think it actually tempts me to want to get more into comedy because so many stand-up comedians I see are really bad, and then they sometimes people will still laugh, you know?
Yeah.
Like, at least if there's at least one, like, sycophant in the audience, they're gonna laugh. But anyway, let's get back to you. Let's get back into you.
Okay.
So you're a painter, a former painter? Wow, that went...
Yeah.
We just obliterated that guy. It just said it was going to be the hardest boss battle we fought thus far, and it's over before it even started.
Nah, I kicked his ass.
Alright, let's see, okay, here, read me this little moment here.
Alright, there's a scene after the battle. When you have control, again, there's a countdown, so get moving. All you need to do is follow a linear path toward the right side of the floating continent. Despite the fact that it's a short walk, you'll need those 6 minutes because of all the encounters you can't run from. Near the end, take the lower path as opposed to the upper path so that you can get to the pod with an elixir inside.
Okay.
Alright, you'll have to fight a rather easy enemy on the shining start object.
Oh, we'll see what that is.
Ooh. Now here's the thing.
This is big.
Alright, when you get to the right side, you'll have the option to either jump or wait for the shadow. Or wait for shadow.
That's our ninja friend.
Okay. Do not jump. Instead, choose to wait twice before the timer runs out. Shadow should appear and jump down with you. If this does not happen, then reset because it means you won't be getting him back.
Right.
Thank you to the person who emailed me this correction.
There we go.
Yeah.
I like this. By the way, shoutouts to Alex who writes this Final Fantasy VI FAQ that we use in all these videos, which you can find, of course, on GameFAQs.com. Where else? Alright, what is going on in this plot? So basically the plot of this game, if you're interested to know,
Yes.
is you are part of a resistance movement trying to stop the government from reverse engineering magical creatures into weapons. It's the best way I could describe it. But now you've sort of made a truce with the government, or I don't know what's going on here. This guy is definitely the primary, this clown fellow is definitely the primary antagonist of the game. And these three, I think these three statues above us are what keep the world in balance. See, but this is why I like this game. Nice messages. Power only breeds war. It's something we'd all be better off without. That's nice. Oh! What's going on here? Did we kill that guy? What just happened? This game is so old that you can't always tell what's going on in the action scenes here.
It appears she might have punched him.
Blood, blood, blood.
Pretty hard.
You vicious brat.
And now he's having a tantrum.
He's throwing a fit. Yeah, there's the statues of the three goddesses. And what is he doing? They keep the world balanced. Oh, he's having a hard time with those. Oh, that's not going to be good. Oh my gosh, were you allowed to play video games as a child?
You know, I just did not have them.
You just didn't have them?
Yeah,
no motivation.
No, not really. I think I don't know. I had a couple of computer games.
What are we talking about?
I had really not weird ones.
Math Blaster?
Not even that. No, the American Girl theatery one.
I wish I had that.
It was just so weird. It was we would make them say crazy stuff.
Oh, that's really...
Because their voices were weird.
Oh, I love it.
And we'd just make them spin and start spinning and keep spinning. and then we had Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So, I would, name all the rides after, boys that went to my middle school.
Uh-huh.
Or, nice, disgusting-y things. Just, I would name one of the, I think I named one of the rides, Sex with Sean Farrell.
Yeah?
Just so that people would say, I would not pay that much for Sex with Sean Farrell.
Yeah.
You know, and I think my
clever.
mom heard us and she said, don't do that. Just don't do that anymore. Just made her really uncomfortable.
Sure.
Yeah.
I had a friend who was addicted to Roller Coaster Tycoon so much, and he would just play it every day. and then he wrote "Read More" on the back of the CD-ROM so that he couldn't play it anymore. That was his way of breaking the cycle. He broke it with this symbolic act.
And then we got into The Sims.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Now, what American Girl dolls did you have or did you relate to the most?
Let's see. I had one of today, which is kind of like, it's such a vain thing to have the American Girl of today because it's not the historical one.
Right.
You just get one that kind of looks like you.
Right.
And then mine was like from the late 90s, so she had like, she's still sitting in my closet at my parents' house, with like a vinyl like jumper and like this weird mom vest made of felt and stuff.
Oh, cute.
But I think like anytime somebody assumes something, I always just say Molly.
Yeah.
It's Molly. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see
She
that for you.
had glasses. Come on.
I was definitely a Kirsten Larson girl.
Oh, yeah?
Loved Kirsten Larson, read all the books, wanted her for Christmas so bad. Oh my god, what's happening here? He's pushing the Emperor off the cliff. Oof. This is getting rough.
Oh, yeah. No. He's out of control right now.
He's out of control. Ooh, is she gonna survive this? What's really going on here? Oh, see, and now I bet if he moves these things out of way, right, the balance of the earth is gonna go nuts. Totally out of control. Yeah, my parents, they got me the American Girl doll, but they kept, for Christmas, but then all leading up to Christmas, they were like, what are you gonna do with it? 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 And so I was like, fine, I don't want Kirsten Larson anymore, like 2 days before Christmas. They'd already bought it for me, so they just kept it and gave it to my sister the next year.
Ooh. Ooh.
It's traumatizing. I mean, it wasn't traumatizing because I didn't realize till later that was the exact sequence of events.
Yeah.
And then towards, I don't even think I was in high school anymore. I think I was in college. I went over to my friend's house right before Christmas. Might have even been Christmas Eve or something like that. And she had kept all of her American Girls. She was like one of those obsessive people who like keeps every single thing. And she had it all in her closet, all the clothes and everything, all the chests, and she got them out, and I got to like make a little Christmas crush with her Kirsten Larson, and that like satisfied my
that's wonderful.
my need. So, okay, what is going on here? So, you grew up where? Remind me again.
The Valley.
You grew up in the Valley.
I grew up in Tarzana, yeah.
Yeah, and what is the vibe over there?
Weird. It's like, it's a lot of shopping centers.
Sure.
It's malls. It's just kind of suburban, but also like LA's crappy hat a little bit. Like whenever we would go on field trips and just go to like museums and stuff with like classes, whenever like we would be on the freeway and we'd be on the bus and this like gust of hot air hits you, you're like, well, we're in the valley again.
Yeah, it's hot down there.
But I've grown to, there are certain parts of it that just kind of like spark something. Sort of. Yeah.
That's just the thing about, wherever you grew up, it's just always got that, just some sort of innate memory, muscle memory. And when did you first start painting?
Let's see. I think in high school I would draw, and I just didn't know if I could paint or not. And I was just like so nervous to try it. And then I think I took a class, and I'm better at painting than I am at drawing.
There you go.
It's pretty much the same thing, but it's not the same thing.
What kind of stuff were you painting?
I'd paint like really weird little animal guys with big eyes.
Cute.
And just like, there's like one of myself. I did like a series of paintings of my friend Bunny, dressed up in like little hat things.
There's a real person whose name is Bunny.
Yes, she's a person named Bunny. And I never dressed her up as a bunny, I don't think.
That's good. That's probably for the best.
And then for a while I went through a phase where I would just paint pigeons.
Pigeons?
Pigeons.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, I got into the pigeons.
Now, what did your art teacher say about your work? Did you go to public school or you in a private school where they like let you be weird?
I was in a public school where they didn't care enough.
There you go.
So that gives you some freedom.
There you
And
go.
I actually like being in those situations where nobody really cares whether you do anything. So
Yeah.
it just kind of, it's nice.
I hear ya.
Yeah.
I also like those situations for art making. Like whenever I've been on a residency where it's like I'm like there to make art as opposed to like I'm there for something else and I'm just making my art on the side.
Yeah.
It's never like as good for me. Like it's always better when the people don't even notice I'm like making art.
Yeah, when somebody is standing next to you and saying, "I believe in you," and just kind of watching you, you're like,
Oh shoot, that's never good. So, we're not gonna die right now. That's not gonna be what's on the menu here. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Get him out of the picture. So wait. We gotta wait.
Okay.
You press wait twice. Well, now we just have 2 minutes. Just sit here.
Uh-huh.
There's our little airship down there.
Mm-hmm.
A little flying plane. Was it oil paint?
Yeah, I got into oil paint when I was finally let's see, I think I was in art school when I got into the oil painting.
Yeah.
And I was an illustration major. And they just stuck me and a couple of the other illustration majors in like a painting class.
Yeah.
And they all hated it. And I loved it. And I
Yeah.
was just like covered in paint all the time.
There
and
you
I
go.
didn't want to do illustration anymore.
Now, your illustration major,
Yeah.
you left that though.
Yeah.
Did you ever get into like comic books? Were you a comic book reader at all?
I was more into like the alt comic type
Sure.
thing. Like, Miserable Guys.
Oh, I don't know that one. Are you just saying that as like a genre of comic book
it's a
writers?
genre, yeah.
Because that's true. I mean, Dan Clowes, you can't be that happy.
Ooh, yeah, no. It's a lot of them. A lot of them are just like sad dudes. And as much as I love them, I know like the whole like theme of it, or like the underlying theme is like, guy can't masturbate in peace. Nobody will let this dude masturbate in peace. No
Yeah.
matter who it is, for every protagonist, nobody will let him masturbate in peace. That's
Right.
it.
That's it and that's all.
That is it.
Yeah, it's crazy how that's one of the things I really love about American comics is that you can admire someone's work for years and really have no idea what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
However, most of the time I can pretty safely assume that they're a white guy with bad hair. It's usually not stretch.
Ah.
Like that's if I choose to imagine something, which I try not to do. It's often an accurate imagination, sadly. But things are changing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I sort of feel like comics are like such an American, like one of the few American things that I really like genuinely like. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where is Shadow here? Is he gonna show up? There he is.
Oh, look at that.
All right, let's go.
Oh,
Come
we're
on,
just
buddy.
building tension right there.
That was a lot of tension for me.
Very much. Yeah, 2 minute wait, and then like we were like at
7 seconds.
Yeah.
All right, so spoiler alert, now the entire world is going to rip apart a little bit, and we're going to go from the first half. This is the middle of the game. We're going from the world of balance, and now we're entering the second half of the game where it's the world of ruin.
Ooh.
Where everything is just a horrible, horrible
Oh, because it
mess.
was nice and lush and green there, and now you've got like some...
Oh my gosh, people falling in earthquakes.
Whoa.
Little children, little forest animals
There's one
falling
just
down
back
pits.
and forth, freaking out.
All right, let's go. Oh no! But we're floating in the air. I don't understand how we're being affected by this. This doesn't even make sense. Explosions, just exploding all over the land. Wow, this is a really, really epic planetary shot here.
Is this Earth or is this like another planet?
Yeah, it's definitely not just regular Earth. You know, the geography and everything's all a complete mess.
I'm sure when the world ends, it's gonna look exactly like that, though, with the little, like, bubble things.
Yeah. On that day, the world was changed forever. Alright, the next part of this game is really intense because essentially what we are doing is... Okay, let's see how long it takes to get here. But basically, you're on an island with one of the characters who has been nursed back to health by an old man. But now the old man is sick. And if you don't successfully nurse him back to health, you attempt suicide.
Oh, whoa.
Which was like a big, big deal at the time when this game came out 20 years ago.
I mean, yeah.
It was probably the first suicide attempt in a video game. I'm sure that's not true, but certainly this game was hugely popular, and people were like, whoa, what's going on here? It was very overwhelming for people. So it would be nice to not do this. See, it's kind of fun. The thing is, for historical purposes, the suicide attempt is very interesting to me. And in other past playthroughs of this game, it's definitely happened. But maybe for this one, we could do without it. You know?
Yeah. A suicide attempt, I don't think would be like a fun thing right now.
No. It's not. It's never fun.
Yeah. No.
It's never fun. It definitely was interesting for the story, but it's never fun. All right, are we trapped in bed here? Okay, we're getting out of bed. What's going on? Blinking. There's Sid. Oh, Deborah. Oh, Deborah. You're finally awake. How long have I been sleeping? 1 year. As of today, I was starting to think you might be out for good. A whole year. You've been taking care of me all this time? I think people can be in comas for years unless they're, like, literally in a hospital on life support.
Yeah.
But I'll accept it. We're on a tiny deserted island. After the world was torn apart, I woke to find us here. After the world was torn apart, so that wasn't just a dream. What about everyone else? Where's Antone? I don't know. For all I know, this island could be the only part of the world that's still above water. Ever since that day, the world's been sliding deeper and deeper into ruin. Oh. They flung themselves from the northern cliffs in despair.
Oh, a lot of dark stuff.
So everyone could already be... Deborah, try not to take it so hard. We can still live out our lives together in peace. You're the closest thing to family I have left in this world. Little backstory. She used to work for the Empire, for the bad guys.
Yes.
And they did, like, experiments on her so she could do magic, and he was, like, the doctor.
Yes.
Overseeing that. So they have kind of a messed up, weird relationship. Even though he also defected. You know? It's kind of a weird... did you ever watch The Walking Dead?
No.
Are you a person who, like, stays away from scary stuff, kind of?
Kinda, yeah. I would really be interested in watching it, but no, I know that I can't do.
You can't do the
I can't
score.
do. Yeah.
The thing is, I very quickly became completely immune to any of the violence involving the zombies. Because, you know, if the zombies eat you, it's like, okay, they bite you on the shoulder, they bite you on the neck. You're gonna turn into a zombie eventually, but it's not that over the top. But when it really gets terrifying is actually when the people go bad on The Walking Dead, and then they, like, cut off your legs and, like, eat your legs. Oh. That happened in one episode, and that was really scary to me.
Yeah.
But this moment of desperation where the world is just a mess has kind of reminded me of that. Okay, could you do me a huge favor? Just read me this little section.
After everything has happened, you will find yourself in control of Celeste.
Yes.
Leave the house and approach the beach. If you want to make Sid healthy again, you must only feed him the yummy fish. The yummy fish is the fish that is swimming fast in the water. However, it does not always appear. If it doesn't appear, you might have to settle for a normal fish. However, it won't help much at all. Never settle for a rotten fish, which will move very slowly. If you feed him one of those, he will almost surely die. If there is only rotten fish, simply go back and speak to him, feeding him no fish and spawning a new bunch of fish on the beach. You can't do this forever, though. It's partially luck-based. Anyway, eventually you will end up back in your house, where there's a note from Sid describing a hidden stairway, which can be found on the left side of the house and then down. Grab the raft and use it to escape to freedom. When you're on the world map again, save your game and head to the town on your left.
All right, let's see. I think I just got a second fast fish. Okay, maybe not. That's not good. All right, I'm staying away from the slow-moving fish.
Oh yeah, stay away. Stay away.
Okay, so I don't want that fish. That fish
slow.
is moving slow. You don't want that. I'm just gonna come back down and see what there is to see here. That fish looks slow
Pretty
again.
slow, yeah.
Okay. So then we talk to him and say we don't have a fish. Okay. We're not gonna kill the old weird doctor dude. Okay, still the slow fish. Don't want that slow fish. Want a fast fish. Now, do you have to go... It seems like, yeah, you have to go talk to him to Never settle for a rotten fish. Okay, when you talk to him, it spawns a new bunch. Let's hope that does happen right now. Okay.
And should there be more than one fish? Or is it
Sometimes there is going to be multiple fish. But it just keeps being that slow fish.
Yeah, it's
I don't want that
loser fish.
I don't want that fish. Okay. Let's try again. Just gets in the bed. Okay. He's coughing, he's hacking. Let's see now. Okay, now we've got a fast fish going. We gotta get this. There's a bunch of fast fish. Which fish? This fish seems the very fastest to me. Let's try. Okay, alright.
So that's like a medium-y fish then.
Let's hope so. Okay, what do we got now? We got no fish. Can't feed him fish if there's no fish. This is tedious, I will say. I never ate fish as a child. Are you a big fish eater?
Well, let's see. I was a vegetarian, but now I eat fish, and I feel guilty about it.
You feel guilt?
I think so, yeah.
Do you think fish have no feelings, like they say in Something in the Way by Nirvana?
No, I think they have feelings, probably. Every time I see a koi pond, or, you know, there's always just, like... Every time I, like, meet a fish that I particularly like, I feel really bad for all the fish I've eaten.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was in Petco the other day.
That one is, like, pretty fast.
Which one do you think is the two bottom ones? Which seems... They seem about the same speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I refused to eat fish as a child because I wanted to be a mermaid, and I didn't want to eat my undersea brethren, you know? That was my logic, which is very illogical because mermaids probably eat fish. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that some mermaids... It seems likely to me that some mermaids eat fish,
Yeah,
you
they
know?
just, like, wouldn't, like, hang out and just eat kelp all day.
I mean, who really knows? Who's to say what mermaids do or don't do?
What I'm wondering is, like, what would the mercury, like, how much mercury is in a mermaid?
A lot.
A lot of mercury.
I feel like there's a lot because I recently also saw this image that was of Ariel, but she was on the beach and she was covered in oil. And man, that really, it's haunting me right now.
It's pretty bad. It's one of those kinds of things.
The thing is, we don't really even understand the kind of damage that gets done to marine environments because we can't see them in the same way that we can very easily see land.
It's kind of the dumbest thing ever that like we're overfishing because we can't see underwater.
Yeah, and also raking shrimp trawlers along the bottom of the ocean. My understanding is that's like really bad because you just rip up all the vegetation. It's like creates all the soil erosion.
Yeah.
That's my big understanding. Oh no, what's this about to be? What? We gave him only the fastest fish.
I think, maybe it was only medium fish, and oh dear, do we get to...
Oh, this is so sad. I think it's really hard to do the... But we didn't give him any slow fish. We didn't give him a single slow fish. I feel like this is rigged. I feel like they just want this plot point to happen right now. I mean, actually, I don't feel like that, because otherwise, why would we have bothered with all the fish? This is just so bleak. We got the dead birds. The other people who were here with us all gave up hope. One after the next, they flung themselves from the northern cliffs in despair. This is just gutting. This is so sad, the way they draw this out.
Yikes.
But watch what happens, if my memory of it serves me correct. Yes, she throws herself off.
There we go.
And then as she's doing it, and she's crying, as she's falling.
Yeah.
And then as she's falling, she... What happens? Maybe she sees something, or I thought she saw something. You see something that makes you think it's still gonna be okay. I don't remember. The important thing to remember here is that it's just a suicide attempt.
Yes. So we see...
So she's going to live.
Yeah. Well, her shattered but not corpse-like...
body.
Her body, which still has life in it.
Oh my god.
Is upon this beach.
Oh.
I think I'm like way more affected when it's animals. There was this PSA that I don't think ever aired, but I found it on the internet with a bunch of CGI animals that try to off themselves.
Okay.
And it just left me sobbing, just like... There was this part with a chimpanzee that hangs himself from his tree.
Why? What was the purpose of this video?
It was like an environmental one that says, like... I don't know, something about the, just like the wrecking the environment. All the animals are so miserable about their desolate environment that they keep stepping in front of trains and stuff. And it's just like sad crying deer jumping in front of trains, and you're like, what is this? Why? No. It was so bizarre.
Yeah, you know, a tarsier, which is the type of small primate, if you put it in a cage, it will bang its head against the bars until it dies.
Oh, God.
So animals do commit suicide.
They definitely do.
Now, what is this telling me? You must leave this island. Somewhere out there your friends are waiting for you. Go down the stairs by the stove. The road to your freedom awaits. Love, Granddad. Okay. Alright, Granddad.
So that's his corpse.
Yeah, with the eyes open, it's terrifying.
He's just
it's
like
really
standing
sad.
there and is like...
He's lying in bed
hood.
with his... Okay. We're by the stove. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Secret passageway by the stove. A raft! It's kind of weird he didn't tell you about this in the beginning, but I guess it's because he wanted you to take care of him.
Yeah.
Which, you can't blame him for that.
You know, that granddaddy's, I don't know, there's some sort of emotional manipulation right there.
Yeah, but, I mean, I think in the end it's okay. Because it's a, you know, in a world this messed up, you've got to find a way to connect with people, right?
I think so.
I think that's important and relevant. In The Walking Dead, I think they get into that a little bit. Walking Dead is just a sea of misery, though. That show, there's hardly any joyful moments.
Oh, that is always fun.
There's some. There's a scant few.
Things.
Yeah. Exactly. They have the little moments. I like how the ocean is just completely red. That's scary.
Yeah, whatever it is. Blood, dolphin blood, something.
Okay, now we're up. We're moving around. We're alive. We're not dead. All right, let's save really quickly here. What exactly is your official role at K-Chung, would you say?
My title is Minister of Internal Transparency. It is an empty role because we are an opaque. We are an opaque organization.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I'm not sure what's going on half the time.
Right, exactly.
Who said what about what, or who did what, or whether, we're a church, maybe, or a cult, I don't know.
Yeah, there's always a little bit of that in the community art projects, a little bit of a cultish vibe. I'm not opposed to that in any way.
I mean, but we haven't gotten matching face tattoos yet.
Yeah, I don't think anything like that has happened. I mean, K-Chung's changed so much. Mm-hmm. When did you first start doing it? This is what I'll say. My very first memory of you was at the Hammer Museum. You were interviewing Zachary Drucker and Reese Ernst, who are two really very well-known figures. Yes. Pretty well-known figures in the art world.
Yes.
And it sort of seemed like you had no idea at the time who they were.
Absolutely not.
Which was very refreshing.
Yes. I think I was doing a shtick while interviewing them.
I thought your name was Pandemic Flu, which in a way is, but...
It is, but for those purposes it was. But I was doing some sort of, weird shtick. And because they're a big deal, they were thrust upon me for an interview.
Yeah.
And it was a clash of personalities.
It was really wonderful, though, because I just remember Zachary just standing there just being like, I'm having a horrible time. I'm in a nightmare right now. I hate everything about this. And you were just,
Like, what kind of gum are you chewing?
You were just trying to just roll with it, Yeah. You were just trying to just keep the ball rolling. And Zachary was just joking around.
Oh,
She was just having fun, but I think the whole, gravitas of the scenario was weighing on you a little bit, but it was so great.
I think that I was trying to push and pull with ego there, mine mostly.
Yeah.
But there's just kind of this fight thing going on, and one of my friends saw it, and she said that, I think they're making fun of you.
I don't know if it was quite. Maybe, who knows? I just really enjoyed that. I got to watch that from home. Because we were broadcasting that, and you could watch it on Vimeo Live or something. I don't know what platform we were able to do it on, but we were watching the clips and everything that was going on.
Yeah.
From I think I was from my house where I was still living at on York Boulevard. But I really right off the bat liked you from that because you didn't really know the art world. And so that was very refreshing.
I wish I did, and now I'm still I just don't care enough. I like art, and I don't care enough.
Yeah, the further away I think you get away from any type of school or academic setting, the less sort of about weird, obscure, not weird, obscure things, but just the pulse of the art world, which is something that is definitely useful for some people in their various professional and personal careers, but I think sometimes it is who cares,
Yeah.
It's like at a certain point I just had to recognize, if it's up to me. Wait, what's going on here? We're getting a little flashback. Okay, we've got a lot of the soldiers. We've got a lot of bartender ladies that all look exactly the same. It's a little creepy. But, this is the good old days. That's what we were flashing back to. A year has passed since we've started playing this game, Michal. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I know.
But anyway, that's my feeling on the art world. I mean, I just feel like I'm almost 30, and I just don't need to be original or intellectual if I don't feel like it,
Yeah. Yeah, it's not... I'm starting to think a lot more that you don't really have to care that much about as much stuff as you used to.
Yeah.
There's things to care about. there's a lot to care about. But I guess, like, for a while, I guess when I was much younger, I was very, very into the art world and trying to, you know, absorb as much as I could. And then I got into more music and DIY stuff. And I cared about that so much. And in, like, the last maybe year or so, I've just been caring less about that, too, because it has its own weird thing.
Oh, sure. What's the weird thing there?
I don't know. I think it's the same exact thing as the art world. It's just like every community is like the next. As much as we
the
try.
Pretentiousness of knowledge, of who has the knowledge and who doesn't have the knowledge, and what that.
Yeah,
what
and the knowledge is a different knowledge. It's always a different knowledge. It's always a different language. And everybody really is like, they mean well, but once you get into it, you get into it. And, you know, it's hard to get out of that mindset.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of cult-like, to me. I could be offending a lot of people, and...
With what you just said?
Yes, but
I don't
by
think
saying
you
that when
could.
people are too into whatever it is, even if you think it's the best, like, culture in the world...
Oh, I mean...
Yeah.
I think it's important to have, you know, passions.
Yeah.
Different types of passions, but... I don't know if, like, staying up on things... Like, I dated a guy once who would go to art shows and movie screenings that he knew he wasn't going to like it. Just because he thought it was, like, important to know about whatever it was. It was relevant, you know? Like, he went to some Matthew Barney, like, 5-hour screening or something, and he was, like, going into it pretty much saying he thought it was going to be stupid and bad. And I was like, well, don't go to it then. Who cares?
So
it's not that important.
Do you know if he liked it?
I don't think he really did like it. You saw Paul Giamatti's penis in it, I know. I don't know if I would feel particularly strongly about that in either direction.
5 hours just for that payoff?
I don't know if that was the only payoff, but he didn't really seem to be like maybe it wasn't 5 hours. It was definitely long. You know those Paul McCarthy. What's his name? No, Paul McCarthy. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Matthew Barney.
Matthew Barney with it wasn't like the Craymaster.
It was
series.
one of those. Yeah.
It was one of those. I didn't know about that part. I was going to go to one of those screenings, and then I realized that they're like on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, I don't have to leave the house, and then I never watched them.
Right. There you go.
It's that kind of power.
Yeah.
But I do know people who did, and they just broed out over it. Like, they art broed. Just like, we're going to see this. We're going to do this. Hell yeah. We're so into this.
Yeah. I mean, some people, they really love it. They just really love it. I don't know what it is about it, but...
Yeah.
I am trying to think, when was the last... Now, you are the type of person you really enjoy live music.
Yeah, I think so.
That's impressive, because I really, like, 80% of the times I'm kind of glad I went and I like did it and I got out of the house, but like 80% of the times I'm kind of just waiting for it to be over so I can like go like talk to somebody.
I feel like that more than I don't. I mean, like, sometimes I get really antsy.
Yeah.
There've been... It's like maybe one show a year where I'm just like, I never want this to end ever, ever.
Yeah.
And then other times I'm like, oh, this is so great for a couple of songs, and then I'm like, my feet hurt, I want to go home.
When was the last time that it was just so great and you never wanted it to end?
I think that honestly, I saw Neutral Milk Hotel in Oakland.
Okay.
And it's one of those kinds of things. Like, maybe it was like 2 years ago. Where it's just like, oh, Neutral Milk Hotel, that guy's still alive. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah.
And he seems to hate all of us, but this is delightful.
He hated all of you?
Oh, like, he hates everybody in general.
Sure.
Like, he's just, like, talking about, he's got, like, this big beard now.
Okay.
And he's just talking about how he just kind of used to walk around the streets in Oakland and just would, like, shuffle around, and everyone's just like, ah, ha, ha. And he's like, no, I'm serious. And then we're like, we know. We definitely know. You look like you shuffle around here. It's alright. It's okay.
Oh my goodness, what's going on here? We've got an earthquake. Alright, can I just leave?
There's a lot of drama going on.
No, I can't leave. Please help him. I'm begging you. Okay, all right. We're gonna go help him, and then who are we helping? What's going on? Everyone's freaking out. We've got. Oh, look who it is! My little boy's still inside. Please help him. I'm begging you. Marcos. Oh, Deborah, let me help you. Wait. I named all these characters after like my best friends throughout my life, so it's sort of surreal watching them interact in some way. Alright, here we go.
He doesn't really look that little, but alright.
Let's see. Do you know Marcos?
I don't know if I do.
He has the show on K-Chung, Thirsty Thursdays with the Dollar Boys.
Oh, I'm not
He's one of those guys.
Yeah.
So, if you would know him, you would know him from that, but...
Yeah.
Okay, this is really... I'm worried that we're not going to survive this.
I think a couple of people have, like, had, like, games. What is that one where you just kind of name a character and you let them, like, live their lives and they keep getting married to each other and, like...
Not The Sims?
No. You just, like, let them go. You don't really, like, force them to take action with each other.
Okay, heel rod. The top left and a bit down. Okay, I see this. We want to open this. Left and a bit down. Into the room. You'll find a pearl rod. Could you do me a huge favor and just read this whole section?
Alright, when you arrive in Tzen,
Sure.
a rather unfortunate event occurs. Head to the top of town and go into the house. You've got a certain time here, so don't be quick. Start by going up to the top and opening the chest for the heel rod, left and bit, and oh, too late.
I died.
Aww.
But I think I saved very recently, so I think it'll be fine. Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
Let's try it again. What time do you think we started this lovely conversation?
I think 10-ish?
10-ish?
10, 15-ish?
Well, I usually do cap these off at about an hour.
Okay, yeah.
So let me just kill this praying mantis. Do you have anything coming up you want to plug?
I'm going to be performing at Eternal Telethon.
That's right. At Human Resources. When are you going to be performing?
10 a.m. on Sunday.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for doing an earlier slot in the morning.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting, and I don't have my radio show then.
That's good.
Oh, I should also plug the radio show.
Plug that.
11 a.m. on other Sundays.
Every week?
Every other Sunday.
Every other Sunday on K-Chung.
On K-Chung.
And what's that one called?
That one is called
audience.
The Kids Are Not That Revolting.
There you go.
And I am the host, Panda McFlu.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right, McCall. Well, thank you so much for being on Let's Gay.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone come out to the Eternal Telethon. It's going to be at Human Resources from the 29th to the 1st. 50 hours of broadcasting, performance art, readings, dancing, people eating ice cream, nudity, screaming. Who knows what's going to happen, but it's going to be over 200 artists and creative individuals trying to raise money for artist retirement, and you should all come on out. All right, this has been Let's Gay. I'm Johnny Jungle Guts.